me. It's John F. Gately. You can call me Jack. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. Broadcasting to you from beautiful downtown Plymouth, America's hometown. It says it right there. Trust me, it says it. America's hometown, Plymouth, Massachusetts, behind enemy lines. And let's talk about our COVID policy here in beautiful Massachusetts. It is a chilly day in Plymouth. We got a couple of inches of snow. It's beautiful out there. I should show you outside the office someday. All right, so let's bring you up to date. First off, the mask mandate in Plymouth. There was this big Board of Health meeting on Wednesday, and it was only supposed to last an hour, and then about 2 hours and 15 minutes later, they took a vote, and they voted to keep it. Now, I did testify at the meeting. Maybe I'll post that up separately. That might be a good idea. I did testify at the meeting, but they did vote to keep the mask mandate. But then they also simultaneously promised not to enforce it. The Chamber of Commerce spoke as a special guest at the Board of Health meeting, and they were imploring the Board of Health to rescind the order. One of the selectmen also showed up, asked them to rescind the order, but no, they didn't. We did get one vote. So somebody who voted for it before Christmas, they flipped their vote and voted to rescind the order or voted against the order. So we did pick up now 2 votes against the mask mandate. We had 1, now we have 2, so I guess that's progress. It is possible, depending upon, who shows up for the meeting next time, which I believe is next week. Depending upon who shows up, it's possible that that we could change another mind, or it's possible that just the way cookie crumbles, it's a small group, we could, there was one guy what I'm trying to say is there was one guy that wasn't there. And we don't know how he would have voted. He did vote for it. First time, maybe he changed his mind. I don't know. So that's how it is. Wear your mask. I have not been in a Plymouth business since this policy took effect on December 30th. I've been to the drive-through yesterday, actually, but I have not actually been inside a Plymouth business since they put this into effect. So, yeah, if they don't want to stand up for themselves, although it was good to hear the Chamber of Commerce finally speaking, one of the things that startled me about the Chamber of Commerce testimony is that they said a lot of their members did not want to speak before the Board of Health in person or in name, and they wanted the Chamber to speak for them because they were afraid of retaliation from the Board of Health because, we got a lot of restaurants in town. A lot of restaurants. Main Street is just basically a giant restaurant. You don't really go shopping here in downtown Plymouth anymore. Shopping's up at the big shopping center. So they didn't want to come out and actually speak against it. Nobody from the Board of Health responded to that were too scared to testify. All right, so Vax passports. Vax passports are going into effect in Boston a week from today. That'll be Saturday, January 15th. Also, Saturday, January 15th is a march. Massachusetts says no, I think is the organizer. Some type of march in Boston to oppose mask mandates, all the mandates. It's an anti-mandate march. I think they should try to spin that message a little bit to the pro-freedom march. You might want to think about your messaging. I'm thinking of going. We did have a poll that came out from Mass Inc., which is kind of like a public policy polling thing. They bear to the left, or is this to my left? Whatever left. They bear to the left here in Massachusetts, and they had an interesting number. 56% of Massachusetts residents favor vax passports. One of the inverse things of that poll was really interesting, and I put it up on my Substack. If you want to go find me on Substack, Gately Wire on Substack. The people that are the least happy or least comfortable living everyday life in Massachusetts are people who are boosted. Isn't that an interesting? So if you're triple vaxxed, you're least happy or least comfortable going out to eat at a restaurant, riding public transportation, going to a sporting event, going to a movie. That's remarkable. Why? Don't they believe in the vaccines? If they've gotten triple vaxxed, shouldn't they be more comfortable? The state also the other day just mandated that I believe nurses and nursing home workers now need to be triple vaxxed. So, they're moving the goalposts on that. Also, as I said, Boston going to do the vax passports January 15th. And one of the most Orwellian things that you could possibly think about, their policy name for vax passports, because they're not going to call it that, is, get this, B, like the letter B, together. Be together. That is totally, you can't see my Orwell post. It's over there because I'm making this late in the afternoon and the sun has moved up. So I had to move the camera. But Orwell poster over there, which you usually see, be together. When actually the policy is be apart, right? It's the exact opposite. War is peace. Oh my God, it's just like the complete opposite. Insane. So that is the name of the policy, be together, where really they just want the vaccinated people over here and the unvaccinated people over here. I'm trying to run a business here, sorry about that. The irony is that, of course, last week, for the last full week, they only do this on a weekly basis, 50% of all new cases in Massachusetts were fully vaccinated, and about 72% of people in Massachusetts are vaccinated, if I have my number right there, low 70s. So last week, 50% of all new cases were vaccinated people or individuals. And yesterday, 42% of the people in the hospital were fully vaccinated. So I covered this in a couple of my shorts. I know Kathy Hochul in New York is doing it, and Baker's doing it here in Massachusetts. They're now going to divide or differentiate between people that are in the hospital for COVID and people who are in the hospital with COVID, or what some people are calling incidental, like you fell off a ladder and they tested you when you got there to the emergency room. See, cases are skyrocketing. And really, I think I just read that 11% of all cases that we've had since the beginning of the pandemic have just been recorded in the last couple of days in Massachusetts. And what do you do when the numbers are so obvious that your entire policy has failed? What do you do then? Well, you either you either lose or you change the game. You move the goalposts. And so that's what they're going to try to do to show people that, remember when the vax mandates came out and they fired all those people, like state troopers? You probably heard about that. What happened to those? Was that justified? That was just a couple of months ago. I know that, a couple of months in this world, things are moving so fast, you kind of forget about these things. But hundreds of people lost their jobs because they wouldn't get the vaccine. And now it seems basically everyone's getting the COVID, vaccinated or not. Why did we fire those people? That's insane. It's just like everything in this pandemic is as if you say something today, January 8th, which, by the way, is Elvis's birthday, and my father-in-law's birthday. Happy birthday to both of you. And it's like everything that you say in this pandemic, you say it January 8th, and everyone says, oh, no, that's not true. And if you say certain stuff, if you're certain high profile enough, you might even get banned from Twitter for saying something like our friend Alex Berenson, which I still haven't read the book. He said the vaccine was basically a therapeutic, and he got banned from that. And then you wait a month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever, and all of that is now true. Just like Viva Free said, which she's great. Viva Free said, don't ask me to spell it, Vivafrei, something like that, said that literally doing this in front of our, right in real time, I think is the phrase, which is true. And then they're going to say, oh no, we didn't do that. All right, so, yeah, I don't know if I can really even say anymore. It's exasperating. It's tiring. But if we're not going to say it, who else will? I'm John F. Gately from beautiful and cold Plymouth, Massachusetts, America's hometown. Behind enemy lines. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.